Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Friday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you. So I'm a little later tonight because the gym closes earlier tonight. So I had to hit the gym. I think I'm on day. I think I'm on 12 or 13 days in a row. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks. Whew, crazy. But it's the comeback story. So tonight, a discussion came up with a friend of mine, with actually a couple of my friends today. We were talking, and I have to tell you. Most of my friends and I, let me think, pretty much all my friends. When I say friends, I can count like my close friends in one hand. Okay, that's how many. So that many people, those people, I don't think they agree with few things that I talk about. The philosophy, if you would, right? And that's okay. We're still best friends. But let me share with you a couple thoughts that came up, and I thought this is kind of cool to address and kind of share my thoughts with you. See where you stand, right? So this notion that the poor usually just really don't like the rich. Come on, let's just say it. They mock the rich. They put them down. They, they say, oh, they probably got there by stealing and lying and stepping over somebody's foot and taking advantage of somebody and some people. I mean, you've heard all that stuff, right? Not only you've heard all that stuff, most likely you probably say those stuff, or maybe even think those stuff. And I don't think there was a time that I ever thought that. Truthfully, I actually really thought about that today. And I thought to myself, did I ever think like that? Did I ever think like the rich got there because they stole, they cheat, they step over other people's feet, and they took advantage of people? I don't think I ever thought that way. I truthfully do not remember a time that I thought that way. Now, let me ask you, let me share this with you. And then this other notion that the rich get away with everything, or the rich get richer. You've heard this stuff. You probably say this stuff. Well, are there some wealthy folks, rich folks that have got away with things because their money bought them maybe a better attorney, a better whatever, right? Are there people like that? Yes, absolutely. There are people who, lied, cheated, stole, stepped over feet, and took advantage of people, and now they're rich. Yeah, there are people like that. Yeah. Now, to only think that there are people that the people that got rich and wealthy only got to that point through all these things, that's naive. Come on. That's naive. There's always the other side. See, money, fame, wealth, all that stuff really brings out who you really are, right? If you're a jerk, you're gonna be a bigger jerk with more money. It's just, come on. If you're a giving person, then you're gonna give more when you have more. Okay. Now, yeah, but okay. And if you really look down upon the rich and wealthy, if you really frown upon them, if you really believe that there's no way they could get there through hard work and just busting their butts and just really grinding and having grit, that just no matter what happens, they just keep going. If you really believe that cannot happen, guess what? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? If you really believe that there's no such thing as hard work and busting your ass, starting from zilch, taking all criticism, taking all hits, working your tail off, working your way up, and just making it on your own. If you really believe it's not there, then here's what's going to happen. Are you ready? You're never going to try to get there. You're never going to do anything to get there. You know why? Because you will never have what you resent. If you resent the rich, even if you resent the journey, the whole way to get there, hey, I'm not saying every single rich person worked their ass off and never lied, never cheated, never stole, never did this. I'm not saying that. But I'd rather take my attention and my focus and focus on this other group of rich. Are you feeling me? It's a different mindset. It's a different ideology, values, principles. You no longer are focusing on the rich that got away with stuff. No, not that kind of rich. You're looking at this group. This group is the group that pays for the charities, cancer research, hunger, clean water, homes, medicine, nutrition, shelter, some people's rents. Who do you think pays for that stuff? The poor? The poor are too busy complaining and blaming everybody else and not making a dime for themselves. How are the poor contributing? Poor in everything. Poor in contribution, poor in values, poor in mindset, poor in bank account. These all go hand in hand. Who do you think does all these charities and does all these? This went under the radar, but I think it was the Human Society or something. They reached out to Elon and said, hey, if you only gave 1% of your wealth, we could solve world hunger. Really? His response was, okay, I'll gladly give that if you show me the plan. If you show me the plan that you can do that, I'll give that money. Obviously, there was no plan. And he still gave $5 billion. $5 billion. Guess what's going to happen to that money? It ain't going to solve world hunger. But who do you think gives that? The poor? The poor can give 5 billion? Really? From under the mattress? From where? Who do you think runs all these cancer hospitals for kids? You know which one I'm talking about. Who do you think funds those guys? The poor? To think that way is naive. It really is. And what you resent, you'll never have. You'll never go after. You'll never even try. If you resent the way, if you resent the journey, if you resent getting rich, if you resent wealth, if you resent all these people, how are you gonna? You're not gonna do anything about it. So if the wealthy and the rich have advantages, right? So they have all these advantages, let's say, okay? Some take advantage of them. They enjoy them, right? Some, they abuse them, okay? Two groups of people. So how about you don't focus on the abusing group and you focus on the one that contributes, right? That's the group you should focus on. And here's the thing. Are you ready? And if you take that focus off those rich and the wealthy who are the abusers and liars and cheaters and stealers and, if you take your focus and attention off that group and just shift to this side where they're the giving kind, they're the contributors of the world, they're the inventors of the world, they're the solvers and the doers and the shakers and the movers, the risk takers. These are the people that you want to be around with. These are the people that feed your soul, like I always say. These are the people that inspire you, that push you forward. These are the people that do charities and help human cause, help human trafficking. I mean, not help, but help groups fight against human trafficking, child abuse, foster care. Who do you think gives to these people? The poor? This is going to come hard at you. Don't take it too personal. But the poor is busy fighting for people to get 17 bucks an hour instead of 15 or whatever it is to flip a hamburger. That's they're fighting for. That's the poor. Flipping hamburgers at McDonald's was never supposed to be a career. It was supposed to be a stepping stone for you to go to freaking college and get a job, go to school, whatever, and get a job. It's a stepping stone. Everybody should do that job in the beginning, not forever. Do you realize 17 bucks an hour, 15 bucks an hour to flip a hamburger? There's not much value that you're contributing, right? So here's the thing. You ready? Look, instead of frowning upon the wealthy and the rich and they did this, they did that, you can't, like I said, you cannot be naive enough to say all the wealthy, all the rich are cheaters and liars. You can't be that naive. So there's two groups, right? There's some that suck and there's some that are awesome, okay? So if that's the case, how about you take that shift, your focus off that group to this group, and here's what you do. Are you ready for this? Instead of complaining and blaming instead of frowning upon them, instead of putting them down, mocking them, ridiculing them, truthfully, instead of doing all that, are you ready for this? Instead of doing all that, join them. Join them. Join them in that group. Become rich. Become wealthy. And then you do it differently. You do it good. You don't lie. You don't steal. You don't cheat. You don't screw people over. You do it good. How about that? Join them. Don't point fingers at them and complain. And listen to me. You do it better. You climb that mountain, but you do it better. You learn how to do it the right way. Yeah. Join them. I'm going to tell you something. I heard this a while back, and this is one of those things that hits me all the time. Your poverty does not serve anybody. Think about it. Your poverty doesn't serve anybody. It can't even serve you. You can't even pay the bills if you're poor. Your poverty doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you, doesn't help your kids, doesn't help the husband, the wife, the brother, the sister. It doesn't help anybody. So instead of mocking that sector, if you would, recognize that there's a lot of good being done by good rich, good wealthy people. You become one of those people. How about that? You just take your focus completely off this group and you focus on that group. And you become that. You go through the journey. You go through the whatever it takes. And you become that person. You become that person. You earn it when you get there. And you do it better. You know? You do more to charity. You do to... Listen, when you have more, you can do more. You can give more. All this stuff that you want to do. All the stuff that the poor say, oh, if I had it, I'd do this. If I had it, I'd do that. Like Jim Brown said, I'm not sure about that. Because if you were going to do it, you'd do it now. And that's the truth. It doesn't matter if you have it or you don't have it. Right? Money is going to magnify who you are. If you're, like I said, if you're a jerk, you're going to be a bigger jerk with a bigger pocket. If you're a nice guy, imagine that. Imagine that. Right? So, hey, instead of mocking the rich, instead of, oh, that guy? Yeah, that guy did that to get there. Instead of having that attitude, if that's the case, if that guy did that to get there, well, then change your focus. There's another guy on the other side that didn't do that. Just change your focus and become part of that group. Challenge yourself. Go through it and become part of that group and make a difference that way. Listen, you buying the guy behind you in the driveway, you buy their bill, that's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. Now imagine if you could feed 10 people. Now you can't do that being poor. You just can't. So your poverty doesn't serve anybody. So to think poor doesn't serve you. It starts up here. You got to change your mindset. I had to change my mindset. I had to shift. Yeah. And that's okay. Because it's a reality. If you have more, you can give more. All you got to do is earn more, become more, give more to earn more. I mean, that's the formula. That's what these guys are saying. Listen, if you wanted to be a doctor, would you sit with a plumber and say, hey, how do I become a doctor? The guy's going to look at you, he's going to say, dude, how the hell do I know? I'm a plumber. Listen, if you want to be a good rich, a good wealthy, somebody who gives back, somebody who gives a damn, then join that group. Learn from them. Somebody asked me today, how do you become more valuable? I mean, when somebody's poor and they don't have any resources. Really? Because you can pretty much learn, and you could become probably a heart surgeon just by YouTubing your way through it. You can learn anything. There's gazillion stuff for free. Then you can learn and grow and add to your basket, right? So there's always resources. I mean, listen, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, yeah, resources were tough. Right now, you're sitting on the couch, click, you got gazillion resources right on the couch. So it's not like that anymore. So naive thinking is not serving you, is not helping you, is not helping anybody around you. It's not. Poor mentality is keeping you down. Thinking that the rich suck is keeping you down and is not serving you or anybody else. Because there are rich people who are making a huge difference in this world. And if you don't think that way, it's naive. It's not serving you. You can't become or have what you resent. If you resent that, you're never going to have it. You're going to always be in this comfort zone of yours, this routine, go to job, go to work, and, come back. It's because you're always going to come back and sit on the couch and flip through the channels and see a rich guy and start tearing him up. Oh, this guy, that's naive. What about all this other, like I said, listen, I don't want to repeat the live, but you can't be stuck on this side and forget about this side. You change that. You become somebody different then, right? You change that. You become a better person. You do more with what you get. But your poverty, you being poor, ain't going to help nobody. Yeah, you may get a homeless guy a burger once in a while or pay somebody $5 at the freeway. But do you really make a difference? Think about that. Do you? You giving that guy $5 at the freeway? Does that make a difference in that guy's life? Yeah, for maybe 10 minutes. You're going to be back at the freeway. You're not doing much. You know why? Because you can't. And that's the truth, right? So, mindset shift. Focus on the other side and say, you know what? There's some beautiful, wealthy people that are helping the world, that are making a big difference in people's lives. I want to be one of those people. Yeah, how about that? And then go through, and then when you actually appreciate that, and when you actually are seeing that as something that's actually possible. Yeah, you can be a nice guy and a rich guy and a wealthy person and a nice gal and a rich gal and a wealthy person. I will claim it from now on. Yes, Kalia Kimberly, what's up? How are you? Welcome, welcome. I think you really like, if you go back, it'll make a lot more sense if you watch the replay. But yeah, it's like you being poor, you being stuck, you being this, you being that. Who is it helping? It's not even helping you. I love how poor people say, if I had it, I'd give it all to the poor. Then you wouldn't have it anymore again. I'm sorry, is that mean? That's not mean. But that's so dumb. Because first of all, you wouldn't do that. Two, it's the dumbest thing you'd ever say. Why the hell would you give it all? Listen to me. First of all, you ain't gonna do that. Okay? So, just take your focus and put it on. Listen, I'm gonna make a difference. I need to do more, so I gotta have more to do more. Yes. Focus on that. And let that be your burning fire that just keeps you going. And listen to me. There's people that are gonna come at you. There's gonna people that are gonna listen. I did a crab story last night, so you can watch that and change your focus. But yeah, it's just like, dude, I mean, just to think all rich or suck. Well, listen to me. I'm going to say this. I'll end it with this. Not all rich people got rich by stealing, cheating, and being a jerk. Pause. And not all poor people stayed poor by being humble and nice and kind and genuine. If you think that, then you're really naive. Because I know some shady-ass poor people. Maybe even more shady than rich people. I don't know about you. I mean, yeah. So you can't. It's always two sides. So I hope you got some love, some inspiration. This is one that these topics hit home for me because this is a battle of mindsets, and you got to be careful because this is a helmet-free fight, and it's a battle of mindsets. Oh, that's so good. Somebody write that down so I don't forget. Can you drop it in the comments? Helmet-free battle of mindsets. That's what it is. So you got to be careful who you go head-to-head with. You really do. Because some people don't have the mentality to stay strong when they get hit. They immediately start questioning. They doubt. Right? Helmet-free bat. Thank you. Right? Because I got to remember that. I don't have my notepad. So, focus on that and say, you know what? I'm going to make a difference. I'll tell you what. You know what? I give $20 right now to, I don't know, this charity. Gosh, it would sure be nice to give 200. Well, how the hell are you going to pay 200 if you don't have $20? You got to make more, right? You're going to go steal it every month? No. How about you make more to give $200? Not cut expenses. See, that's the poor mentality. Oh, I'll cut my cable so that I can do that. No. That's a poor mentality. You're just saying, I'm not going to make more. I just have to cut things. Because there's not enough in the world. This is not an abundant world. This is limited because I just got to cut things. No. 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 Stop. No. Don't think like that. That's going to hold you back. Would you rather think one way that holds you back, or a possibility that could propel you to the future? Think about it, right? So I think I beat the heck out of this point. Like I said, this stuff hits home for me, and yeah. So we'll leave it at that, right? So hopefully you got some love, some inspiration, some value. I love your feedbacks and comebacks, especially those of you who are super quiet, watch the live, and then send me a text, and then we'll get into this 2-hour discussion. You know who you guys are. So you could drop your comments here so that we could have the 2-hour discussion like right here. So other people can see it too, but I know you won't. So, but if you're brave, that would be nice. So I appreciate you guys that watch the replay or watch and don't ever say a word and are quiet, in the back. And those of you who watch live and comment, Collie Kimberly, I love saying that name. That name is money. Thank you for being a fan. You always watch, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. So give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Are you ready to make that mindset shift? And it's not even like a drastic shift. It's like, instead of looking over here, it's like you look over here. It's not that big of a deal, right? You're just seeing two sides to it. Are you ready for that? And that's going to make it. Listen, it ain't going to be easy, right? It's not like, oh, yeah, I made that and everything is great. No, because like I said, it's a helmet-free battle of the mindsets. It's always going to be there. And you just got to build that, I guess, that protection, that wall around your mindset, that it's not going to get tackled, If it gets tackled, it's not going to get affected, right? So you got to work on that. And you can't let other stuff affect you like that. You can't. If you do, you're going to be back where you are, in that other side. And it's a no bueno side. It doesn't help anybody, right? So get out of that mindset. Anyway, I'm done, I swear. Hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value, and drop your comments below. Let this feed grow. Get somebody on here, tag them, share it on your wall. Do what you got to do. Whatever you got to do, spread the love. Remember, if you share, you show that you care. Until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.